These Dragon Ball TikTokers are getting out of hand. Some are stating that the true Ultra Instinct form that Goku achieved in the Granola arc against Gas is stronger as an all-round form over the Silverhead iteration of Ultra Instinct, a form that many people call Mastered Ultra Instinct, even though there's many different abbreviations you can use for that form since the inception of it in the Tournament of Power. So, which is the strongest? Is it the Silverhead Ultra Instinct, or is it Goku's new True Ultra Instinct that actually suits him as a character better? Well, the problem is that it's not something you can take at face value, even in terms of power scaling. True Ultra Instinct is essentially Goku using Ultra Instinct Sign, but allowing his emotions to drive him and allowing to get stronger or adapt quicker in battle. We know that it's a Saiyan trait, that when a Saiyan has an emotional upheaval, that they get stronger whilst fighting. Basically what Goku's done is infused Ultra Instinct Sign with this very fact, and he's made Ultra Instinct his own, which is what he was tasked with by Whis. However, it is not as strong as the Silverhead Ultra Instinct. The most powerful we've seen Goku so far is when he was using his true Ultra Instinct, because there was a problem with his Silverhead Ultra Instinct which was stopping him from getting stronger. We'll get into that in just a moment. So first, let's just go through all the iterations of Ultra Instinct. Now, we've talked about Ultra Instinct a lot on this channel. We talked about the naming of it. A lot of people tended to call the Ultra Instinct from the Tournament of Power Mastered Ultra Instinct, which in terms of the wording and the terminology does seem a little bit off, but that's a term that people still like to apply to that form, which is fine by me because you can say it was mastered in a sense, but it wasn't truly mastered. I prefer to call it completed Ultra Instinct. Let me know what you think about that down in the comments section. So after Goku was taught a lesson by his old master, Master Roshi, on forsaking his endeavor for more and more power and to focus on more martial arts abilities such as movement, Goku managed to attain Ultra Instinct Sign. In the manga, Goku doesn't really attain Ultra Instinct Sign for long, but it spurs Jiren to state that it's the toughest anyone's ever fought against him. He falls out of that form quite quickly in the manga and then re-attains it and is basically just on the defensive against Jiren. This is because it's allowing him to use mastery of self-movement, it's giving them the hacks that you get with Ultra Instinct, such as dodge hacks, speed hacks, but there's something it doesn't give him that the Silverhead iteration of Ultra Instinct gives him, and we'll get that in a moment. Obviously, as Goku's heart becomes calmer, and this is a big point because Goku states this, when he re-attains Ultra Instinct Sign the second time in the manga, it only happens twice in the manga, unlike the 3 times we see Ultra Instinct Omen in the anime. When the second time he attains it, after 17 self-destructs, he literally states, but getting mad about it won't solve anything. He remains calm. That is when he re-attains Ultra Instinct Sign. He then fights against Jiren. Like I said, he's really on the defensive. He isn't really making any headway in terms of attacking or offensive, but he does then go on to state, when talking to Jiren, all I've done is get rid of unnecessary emotions. My heart's as calm as the gentle streams of Mount Paozu. Obviously, that's where we grow up with Granddad Gohan. So basically, it's telling you, even from back then in the Tournament of Power, that Ultra Instinct is directly correlating to the state of his mind and his heart. So you could say this was a foreshadowing to what would happen later in the Granola arc. But you know, for some reason, people don't like to give Toyotaro credit where it's due. So essentially, right there and then against Jiren, he's in Ultra Instinct Sign, and he has no emotions. So Ultra Instinct Sign can be done without emotions, but it can also be done with emotions, and that's what he triggers later on in the Granola arc. But before we get to that, in terms of his regular Ultra Instinct, in terms of the fundamentals of it, what we saw in the Tournaments of Power, especially in the manga, the 2 versions of Ultra Instinct are a little bit different from the anime to the manga, but the manga version of Ultra Instinct was more of a completed version in the sense that he managed to attain it and he was in the complete form. However, because he hadn't trained in that form, it was having a heavy toll on him and he was draining very quickly. We don't get a lot of information from there in terms of what's happening, but we do get more information later, especially in the Moro arc and the Granola arcs. So obviously after the Tournament's Power, he cannot trigger this transformation at will. He can no longer access Ultra Instinct until he goes to train with Mayrus, the angel trainee, for for 6 months in a hyperbolic time chamber. However, he only learns to re-attain Ultra Instinct Sign. However, he has 3 different variations of Ultra Instinct Sign which he tries against Prime Morrow. All 3 lose. He has a balanced Ultra Instinct Sign, which is what Mayris suggests for him to use. He has a powered up Ultra Instinct Sign, and he even has a buffed up Ultra Instinct Sign, which clearly focuses on raw strength. All 3 lose, like I said. Now, it is important to note that as Goku powered up and went full power in Ultra Instinct Sign, he did actually lose some of his speed. So going at full power means you actually lose speed. It doesn't directly correlate into more power, more speed. So obviously, as Morrow attains his Morrow 7 free form, and then even copies Vegeta's power, Goku then attains complete Ultra Instinct again after the vanishing of Mayris and decimates Morrow. Absolutely wipes the floor with Morrow, beats him to a pulp. So you would naturally, and I think we all naturally assumed, that Silverhead Ultra Instinct was a lot stronger than Ultra Instinct Sign. Well, there may be a reason as why it was portrayed to be able to inflict so much more damage, which is something what Jiren stated. Whilst fighting against Morrow, we learn more information about Ultra Instinct. First off, we know that after he's trained with Mayris that he can handle this form better and it doesn't have as much of a toll on his body as it did before. We do learn a weakness of Ultra Instinct in the Granola arc that wasn't really elaborated in the Morrow arc, but we also do know that as he fights, his moves become more polished and that his body grows sturdier throughout the fight. Now, what that's saying is that Goku gets stronger throughout a fight when he's using Silverhead Ultra Instinct. So why would he even need True Ultra Instinct if Silverhead Ultra Instinct also does that? We'll get to that in a moment because it's all to do with the state of his mind and the state of his heart. In the Granola arc, we know that Goku trains with Silverhead Ultra Instinct. He can now tap it into it at will, and he trains with Whis. But Whis keeps telling him that he needs to stop equating it to a transformation. He then learns to be able to use Ultra Instinct in any form, but the Silverhead iteration of Ultra Instinct is still the most powerful. We know that he's at the bottom of the Ultra Instinct ladder, even lower than Mayris, but he receives further training from Whis in Ultra Instinct. Then he goes to fight against Granola. He loses to Granola. He literally gets one-shotted by Granola. Granola does have his sniping ability and can target people's vital points. But Granola himself even had to wait and be very strategic in waiting for Goku's accuracy to drop. That was new information we didn't know about Ultra Instinct before. So how exactly did Goku go from having a heavy toll on his body in Ultra Instinct in the Tournament of Power and losing the form quite quickly to go into the Morrow arc and seemingly holding on to the form for quite a while, even transforming out of Ultra Instinct and back into it at will, to then training with Whis and getting even better? It was stated by Toyotaro many times on the official Dragon Ball website that Goku's stronger than ever in the Granola arc. He's even trained further with the form, but his accuracy drops. And that once again is likely to do with his state of mind and his heart. After getting one-shotted by the real Granola, a bit of time passes, Vegeta attains Ultra Ego, which is important because they're both Ultra forms. We then see Goku go back into Silverhead Ultra Instinct against Gas when he's fighting alongside Ultra Ego Vegeta. And this is the important point, and this literally answers why the Silverhead Ultra Instinct is not as strong as True Ultra Instinct in that moment. The reason is that because Goku cannot keep his heart calm and make it go calmer and go deeper into that state, he cannot continue to keep growing throughout battle like he did against Morrow. He cannot get sturdier, he cannot sharpen his moves. This is why Vegeta states, "What's of your Ultra Instinct? It's the same as before." It's not weaker than before, guys. It's the same as before. That's why Goku, when he called Whis, stated, "I can't get my heart calm like yours." So basically, Goku cannot keep his heart calm like he did in the Tournament of Power, like he did in the Morrow arc, and this is stopping him from growing. Unlike Vegeta, who's fueled to get stronger and to get deeper into the Ultra Ego state, he has to be damaged, which is likely causing him to want to destroy his opponent even further. It's all about state of mind for these Ultra forms. Goku cannot get deeper into the state, that's why he steps out, takes a moment, thinks about it, and decides upon Ultra Instinct Sign, because he can use his emotions in Ultra Instinct Sign, and that allows him to, I guess you could say, use his Saiyan traits with his Ultra Instinct Sign traits. However, he likely does lose one thing there. So I guess you could say that's the difference between him using True Ultra Instinct and Ultra Instinct Sign against Moro. And obviously the difference between Ultra Instinct Sign and complete Ultra Instinct against Moro looked quite astounding, but there may be even further reasoning for that. Obviously we know from the superhero movie and the superhero events that the likes of Ultra Instinct, they're not these wild power-ups that people thought they were. They are stronger than the blue forms and even the blue extension forms, Blue Evolution and Blue Kaioken. However, they're not wildly stronger. So there can't be that much difference between Ultra Instinct Sign and complete Ultra Instinct. There is a difference though, don't misquote me, but what complete Ultra Instinct gets is that it can exploit openings. Jiren explicitly states this. Remember guys, in Ultra Instinct Sign, Goku wasn't having any effect against Jiren. He was mainly on the defensive. Jiren was struggling to hit him because Goku had mastery of self-movement and was able to dodge and had high speed. But when he gained Silverhead Ultra Instinct, he was landing blow after blow, and Jiren states, exploiting openings isn't true strength. You could say that he did the same thing against Moro. He exploited openings and he wasn't really one-shotting Moro. Obviously some of the attacks he was doing was brutal, but it wasn't exactly like a Black Frieza versus True Ultra Instinct Goku and Ultra Ego Vegeta one-shot, was it? So the difference between Silverhead Ultra Instinct and Moro 7-3 wasn't the type of difference where melee attacks can simply end him there and then. You had to beat him up quite a bit first. But by triggering his emotions in Ultra Instinct Sign, it allowed him to continue growing in battle against Gas, taking advantage of his Saiyan traits, and allowed him to surpass the level he was at when he was in his Silverhead Ultra Instinct. However, if Goku could keep his heart calm and continued getting deeper into that state, the Silverhead Ultra Instinct state is better than True Ultra Instinct, and now even comes along with a Susanoo form. Likely, Goku will only rely on the Silverhead Ultra Instinct when things are going really bad, and looking back at when it was most effective against the likes of Jiren and Moro seems to be a transformation he can pull out when the odds are so stacked against him that he has no other choice than to be calm, because getting angry won't help him. Like against Jiren, he was losing and was getting beaten up badly. Against Moro defeated all of them, and then even Angel Mayrus disappeared because he started to use his angelic powers. So the odds were completely stacked against them, and then he managed to trigger that ultra calmness, I guess you could say, and get into that state of mind that allowed him to go into the Silverhead Ultra Instinct. However, he wasn't able to do it against Gas. But I do feel like Goku will continue with True Ultra Instinct. He will make it his own style. However, those moments he goes into Silverhead Ultra Instinct, like we also saw against Gas, he can reach newfound levels of power. Look, I really feel like the reason they've done this is because they gave Vegeta his Ultra Ego form, and they want to reserve Ultra Instinct as the ultimate form, and that is essentially what it is. So they gave Goku a problem that he now has to overcome, and he now uses Ultra Instinct Sign with emotions, which is called True Ultra Instinct for Goku. But it's only True Ultra Instinct for Goku because it's his best form in this moment. But in terms of the forms and their actual power in a vacuum, the Silverhead Ultra Instinct is way stronger than True Ultra Instinct. Anyway guys, hope you learned something today. Smash a like on the video if you agree. Let me know your thoughts on this down in the comment section. Until next time, Ad Astra.